Hello my succulent friends, I'm back. Today, right now, in this moment, it feels like I'm doing confessions of a succulent addict. Yes, this is another delivery and it is from eBay. I didn't mention it the other day, probably because I was in denial, but I did buy one other thing from a different seller, and that seller is Collector's Corner. They are actually a very big supplier who supplies a lot of the nurseries in Australia. And anyway, they have a little store on eBay, and they usually sell a lot of air plants and bulbs, flowery stuff, pretty stuff, but occasionally they have some nice succulents, and I did spot this, so I had to get it because I saw the buy price. This is interesting. This is probably the first time I've seen unboxings where other people have got them in the pot. I don't get that because I think it's just heavier for freight costs, but I guess it's just one plant. Yes, I did just buy one plant. I did have a look trying to buy something else to make the postage worthwhile, but they just didn't have anything. Anyway, it was 20 bucks, and I had recognized the image. I've seen them on some succulent groups on Facebook, and I went to price it. Look, I think it was $40. It was definitely a lot more than $20, so I thought, I'm getting it. Okay, so I thought I'd just come on quickly and show you that. I don't think we're going to have a long video today. Yeah, I just feel a bit flat, I think. Some days are like that, aren't they? But this delivery came yesterday afternoon, and this is how I didn't open it till now. I was waiting till I was ready to do a little filming. Well, this is very interesting. I've seen this. So they wrap around the plant, and I've even seen people put cellophane or Glad wrap somehow around here to hold the dirt in. I don't really recall how it's done. Okay, this is interesting. So this is about a 70 ml pot. When I talk in measurements and weights and even temperature, I'll always be talking, in the metric and Celsius. So there we go. I like, I've got a weakness for leaves that are very upward pointing, and this has a dark foliage, so 2 ticks, upward pointing tips, dark foliage, that's 2, and this has got farina, so that's 3, and it's Necheveria, so that's 4. So it's got 4 things going on here that I like. That's pretty cool. This sand is their dirt is very gritty, just cool. I like that. Yeah, so what do you think? Have you got one? Are you familiar with it? Do you know much about it? Do you think $20 is a good deal for this size? So it even says $20. So messy. Let me just pop that on the ground. So here I have my tray from my other order, and I'll just add that to that. Yes, this has been sitting here for what, is it 2 days now? I'm not ready to pot up, mainly because I got one more order coming from that South Australian seller. What's it called now? Green something. Oh, it doesn't matter. Maybe I'll take a moment and look it up and insert it in the video. So I'm waiting for that delivery. I missed the cut-off time. So I bought it like late Sunday night, and their cut-off was like early Sunday for postage. That's what I'm speaking of. So that should be here early next week. And then I thought, with all the stuff, I'll do some arrangements. So that's what I'm waiting for. So yeah, you saw I just spritzed a bit of water. That'll help hold it. Succulents are so resilient. I'm not worried in the slightest. What's that stuff called? Sea salt? like a lot of people like to put their new plant mail in that stuff overnight. I think it's really stinky and I don't use it, and it really triggers my dogs because the smell, they just come right in and investigate, and then when I'm not looking they try and pee on anything that I've used it with, so I don't bother with it anymore. So do you remember this tray? I've watered it in a couple of times, maybe 2 or 3 times. It's very damp in there, so I'll just let that be, but I gave it a couple of watering ins to make sure the systemic granules dissolve. But they look a lot plumper, don't they? A little bit more happy, particularly that one. And you remember I sprayed some of this Confideur systemic spray in the middle of a few heads, and it hasn't left any marks on it, though it hasn't been in direct sunlight, which is how stuff usually gets marked if you use other insecticides with the direct light on it. But I think some other insecticides will still put dark marks regardless if it's in direct sunlight or not. That's just a theory as well. Remember this pot here with the avocado cream? Just quickly, I'll just show you. I have done some extra watering on this because these leaves were a little bit wrinkly. They still are. That one is. That one feels not so good. But these ones have improved. And basically got the hose and squirted in there a couple of times. This is now quite heavy, which indicates it's got a lot of water in it. This would probably respond better with a little bit more water, but I don't want to overwater everything. So I think it's an improvement and I can live with that. Besides, these leaves will probably pass on soon anyway. Right, and just one last thing very quickly, because I got to go back into the front garden and do some work. It's a little overcast today, so it's a good day to do it. Yesterday I was doing it in the afternoon and it was getting a little bit warm, so yeah, getting out there early in the morning seems like a good idea. This is a pot I've done that with the flower blooms off a really big frilly echeveria I have. I've cut the tops off, that's why I'm holding it like that, the top with the flower blooms. And so I've got another pot basically where we'll keep an eye on that and see in a couple of months if we can get some propagations growing off these. Next time I'm out the front too, I'll show you that echeveria. Alright, well, I am really looking forward to doing these arrangements, new arrangements with these, and my new babies coming. I just wanted to show you this one as well. Remember on that big blue pot I had with the afterglows, and I took this out and I cut it into a cutting, cut the stem off because the stem was yucky, and I sprayed some of this in there. So it's another example where it hasn't left any marks. But this one and these ones don't have farina, so I think that's where you get into a little bit of it gets a little trickier when you're trying to use a spray on farina. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that. Alright, I better go out and roll up my sleeves and get some real serious work on at the front. Have a good weekend, and I'll probably be back a little bit later. Ciao, bye. I wanted to sincerely thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you liked it and subscribe to my channel. Also, you can find me as S's for Succulents on my Instagram and Facebook page, where I post daily photos with tips and information. So come and hang out with me there. It's a great place to chat and connect. Thank you.